This is your review for lessons 6.1 to 6.2, so talking about ratios and unit rates. Remember, the big thing about ratios is that there's no labels and that it's simplified. Rates, there should be 2 labels, and when we're finding unit rates, there should be a 1 on the denominator. So this question says compare the ratios below using less than, greater than, or equal to. 8 cats out of 18 pets, and 12 cats out of 22 pets. So if we write these as fractions, 8 out of 18, 12 out of 22, we can't compare them until we get them to have common denominators. So I'm going to just multiply together 18 times 22 to get a common denominator of 396. So I'm going to multiply this first fraction, each of these by 22, and I get 176 over 396. Then we have 12 cats out of 22 people, which would be, 22 pets. Multiply both by 18. So we get 396 on the bottom, and 12 times 18 would be 216. So now that they have a common denominator, we can see that 12 cats out of 22 pets is greater than. So we're going to write it like this. 8 out of 18 is less than 12 out of 22. And you can show me that you know that by getting them to have common denominators and then comparing those two numerators. Express the ratio of 12 oranges out of 30 fruits as a fraction in simplest form and then explain its meaning. So here it tells us to write the ratio. We know 2 things about ratios. They have no labels and they're simplified. So we have 12 oranges out of 30 fruits. I'm going to write this as 12 out of 30. Then I need to simplify. I can divide both of these by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 30 divided by 6 is 5. So my ratio is 2 to 5. You could write it like this, 2:5. You could write it 2 to 5. Or you can write it as a fraction like we did at first. And then it says to explain its meaning. So the easiest way to explain a ratio's meaning, I think, is to start with the denominator. I don't know, I always tend to do that. So I write, for every 5 fruits, there are 2 oranges. Okay, so you can always do that. Start with the denominator for every 5 fruits, then go to the numerator. There are 2 oranges. Okay, so make sure with ratios, simplified, no labels. The next problem says to write as a unit rate. So what we know about rates is that, well, especially with a unit rate, we need a 1 on the bottom, and then we need 2 labels, okay? So it's the difference between ratios and rates. Rates, we need 2 labels. So to get this denominator to be 1 hour, I'm going to divide both of these by 5, because that's going to tell us how much money we have in 1 hour. 48 divided by 5. And remember, you can use your calculator. 9.6, but since we're talking money here, I'm going to do $9.60, and I'm going to make sure I have a label, because unit rates need 2 labels and a 1 on the bottom. The next question says you can buy a 12-ounce can of corn for 89 cents, or you can buy a 20-ounce can for $1.52. Which is the better buy? Explain your answer. So when we compare here, let's get these to both be out of unit rates and figure out how much each can is for 1 ounce. So we always put money on top. So we'll do 89 cents over 12 ounces. And we're going to compare that to $1.52 for 20 ounces. So I'm going to change this to a unit rate to figure out how much it costs for 1 ounce. So I'm going to divide 89 cents by 12. And rounded, I get about 7 cents per ounce. Okay, then for the 20-ounce can, to get it to be out of 1 ounce, I'm going to divide both by 20. So I'm going to take $1.52 divided by 20, and rounded, that would be 8 cents. So the better buy would be the 12-ounce can. And then it says explain. So all I'm looking for is for you to say, it is cheaper per ounce. That's enough of an explanation for me.